Okay, thanks for joining me. This is the
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for taking the course.
We are back again with our next installment.
When the toner's no longer good, it just stops. Okay, we are back again with our next installment. This actually is a continuation of this is the second part of the quote-unquote name game series. We are registering the business names. So we've covered the domain name, we've covered Google email address, we've covered Google My Business name. We went into a little bit of explanation on how that works. If you missed it, go and find video number 2 in the series. Now we're going to start with the state-specific stuff. So we're going to go over the EIN number and the LLC name and a couple of other things that will matter for those of you who are planning on scaling your business up over time. Information, stuff that will point you in the direction of growing your LLC if you choose to have one. A lot of times I hear that there's a debate about should you do an DBA or should you do an LLC. And some people say that an LLC provides you with a certain amount of security against litigation, like if someone sues you while you're working as the representative of the LLC, the lawsuit can only stop with the holdings of the LLC. I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to give you any legal advice. I will tell you some of the steps that I have taken and some of the things that I have in place and some of my plans. And, take from it what you like, anything you don't, it's no harm, no foul. So let's get into it. So first, we're going to get our EIN number. Now, I don't prep for these in advance because you don't prep. So I am going to kind of just like basically find my way through this, but successfully. So this way, it's easier if I have to backtrack and redo something. That way, you won't make that same mistake. So all of this is real time. None of this is rehearsed. I just know what I want to make a video about, and then I set up my system and I start recording. So let's try the irs.gov. I think that's where I got my EIN number. Okay, this is the IRS's website. Then we want an EIN number. Search employer ID numbers, file, pay. Let's see, file, business and self-employed, information for those people. Let's go there. Here we go. Employer ID number, EIN. Well, we don't want to get feedback. Apply for an EIN online. Okay. These are the steps. Determine your eligibility, understand the online application, and submit your application. Okay, so if we click apply now, this U.S. government system is for authorized use only. Use of this system, blah, 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 blah. Then begin your application. You have choices. So proprietor, partnerships, corporations, limited liability companies, estate, and trust. There are different types. So choose the type you are applying for. You can click the underlying terms. Okay. If none of these apply. Then you will go back. So I would call it a sole proprietor if you're not going to get an LLC. And then, of course, if you're going to get an LLC, it's a limited liability company. So go here. LLCs are not incorporated and do not file articles of incorporation. An LLC has an article of organization from the state. An important thing I want to point out, if you want an EIN for your LLC, you have to get the LLC first. So we're doing this in reverse because not everyone wants to have an LLC. Okay? So we're going to go back again. And we'll do it as a sole proprietor. Sole proprietor, household employer. You're a sole proprietor. What is a sole proprietorship? Is a business owned by one individual. It can be a self-employed individual or an independent contractor. All income and expenses are reported on your federal tax return. You may or may not have employees. The business cannot be incorporated or registered with the state as a limited liability company. So, LLC, you can't get an EIN as a sole proprietor. There's a big difference. Continue for your sole proprietor. You started a new business. Here's some other choices. Oh, wait, let's say select. Started a new business. Now, they want your information and your social security number. I am a sole proprietor, or I am a third party applying for an EIN on behalf of the sole proprietor. There are companies who charge you to do this. If you tell somebody I want an EIN for my DBA or an EIN for my LLC, they're going to charge you. And they're going to get your information and they're going to come to this website and they're going to fill it in and then they're going to charge you. All right, we're going to back out of this because this is as far as I need to go. You guys complete this as you will. Now, that takes care of the sole proprietor. Now, let's go and do the steps that we need for those who want an LLC. You're going to start a different website. You're going to start at Illinois Secretary of State. Illinois Secretary of State, official website. Now, in here, right on the first page, middle of the page, LLC. Authenticate an LLC. Oh, wait, you can search. It's down. No, not yet. How do I? So we're going to start, online servicing. Reinstatement, LLC search, name change, articles of organization. I think that's where we're going to start. A guide to organizing, fees. Let's see what happens if we click this. I wish to form a standard limited liability company which does not have the ability to establish series. Perhaps, oh, here we go. With the ability to establish series LLC. So that's not what I am. So I'm a standard LLC. The articles of organization will be effective on the filing date. Is the above information agreed to? Let's see. You have one or more members on the file date. Is to have perpetual existence. They do not. The articles of organization do not require optional provisions at this time. Is the above information agreed to? Yes. Now, let's try it. What was our name? It was the Notary Playbook. Punctuation. Oh, of course. You have to put LLC in there. The Notary Playbook LLC. That's the name we want. Hopefully you're reading along with this. All right, this is where I think you start paying. Street address, principal place of business. This is where you're going to list the brick and mortar location. My LLC is at my home address. So I'm going to fill this out. Remember, if you hit the tab key, it goes to the next field. You can scroll country, state. Oh, my bad. And the zip code. Oh, continue. Registered agent and registered office. This is you. This is going to be you again. So you go through this wizard. I'm going to stop here because I'm not going to create another LLC. So I'm not going to do that. This is where you start the process. The site is pretty much self-explanatory. If you run into any problems navigating it, seek some help, seek some assistance, but it's not difficult. If you can't find anybody to help you press through, then we'll figure out a day and a time and we'll work together. This is for my current course members and my current team members only. If you are not in either of my programs, and I have spare time, I will definitely help you. But I probably would be less willing to set aside a huge notch in my schedule unless you have committed to taking part in one of the programs that I have available. Sorry, but that's just how I feel. Okay, so we're going to back out of this and then got more videos coming. This is video number 3, and I wanted to remind you guys, in any of the videos, give me some comments. I know I say a lot of and pauses, but that's because I'm thinking as I speak. I don't have a script. Before, all of this is real time, and I am testing different microphones. I noticed because I play the videos after I create them. So I've tested the microphone setup. I'm looking for something that I'm going to go with going forward, but right now I am still in a trial and error phase. But I look at the videos, they're not as polished as I would like. And I do plan to re-record them eventually, but for right now, the message is getting across. That's the most important thing. And, you know, that we're going to leave them as is for now. But I do plan to update all of these videos eventually once I have a proper microphone. And then I also plan to include video link, like for instance, here I'll give you a sample of what I'm talking about. I can add myself to the screen. See, I can include myself in the videos and stuff like that, but we don't necessarily want to do any of that. But it's coming later. Right now, I'm still just trying to work out all the bugs and make sure that I can get this stuff delivered to you guys and everybody can understand and follow along. And you can definitely pause the video and come back. So, you know, I'm going to see how I can make this thing scale up. But for now, we're done with this one. See you guys at the next one.